guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to today's video. If this is the first video you're clicking on of mine, hello, my name is Shan from HomeWithShan over on Instagram. I've been on Instagram and YouTube for the last couple of years now, which is absolutely mad, talking about all things pregnancy, motherhood, newborn, having a baby during a pandemic, and now having a toddler, as well as all like the personal stuff in between. I'm also getting married this year, so if you want to join us and like follow on with our journey, then please do hit the subscribe button and like all of that stuff, comment and like and all that stuff. It always genuinely really helps my channel. I'm so close to 25,000 subscribers now, which is just insane, and I'm so grateful. So I'd love to have you along for the journey. But in today's video, I thought I would do a baby must-haves video for early toddlerhood, so from the age of 1 or 12 months to 18 months, because that's the period of time that is the most fresh in my memory. I've done loads and loads of these kind of videos on my channel before, all the way from newborn must-haves to 3-month must-haves to 4-month must-haves, 6-month must-haves, all of that stuff, and now I'm doing like the toddler edition. So if you want to see what is going to come up in my must-haves, I've got about 20 different things and I'm going to go through them in turn now. Okay, so the first thing on my toddler must-haves list are definitely interactive books, and these are our favourite ones. I've got so many, you can see in our little bookshelf behind me. That's from IKEA, by the way. Loads and loads of books, but George's favourite book are definitely hardback books that are interactive, and George's favourite, my little boy who's 18 months, his favourite ones are the Peekaboo books. So these ones are ones that have little movement sliders and things in them, and you can like slide things up and like slide them down, and there's like mirrors and things in this, so if you pull this out, it's a mirror. So there's loads of little bits like that. He absolutely loves these ones, so I'll link a couple of the Peekaboo ones down below. He's got literally so many. These ones are definitely his favourite, and these are by Camilla Reed, so I'll link these ones down below. You can get them for like £4 on Amazon. Ones that I know a lot of other kids like as well are ones like That's Not My Books, which I'm sure you would have heard of, and the Gruffalo book, because they do have different textures on them, all on here, and the same with the That's Not My Books. George does like these, don't get me wrong, but nothing holds his attention more than these Peekaboo books, because he can actually, like, he creates the movement, which I think is something that he really enjoys. So yeah, I will link the Peekaboo books down below. I'll link a couple of the That's Not My ones and the Gruffalo one as well. But generally, any kind of interactive book is like an absolute toddler must-have for me. Product number 2 on the toddler must-have list is a rucksack. So a mini rucksack for your toddler, and our one that we have actually has reins on it as well. I know that that's a controversial point. Some parents like reins and some parents don't like reins. I really like the idea of having a little rucksack for George though. He has a little rucksack and it's got like little dinosaur scales on the back, and when we go out just for a little walk or something, it's really nice for him to have all of the stuff that he needs in his bag. So his wipes, a couple of nappies, his snacks, his like drink, for example, any little bits like that. Should we need it, it does have the reins attached to it. You don't have to use them, you can remove it if you don't want to, but I quite like the idea of like, just in case, like if he lets go of my hands, I've still got that as a, like, he's safer like around traffic or like people and stuff like that, if I have got like just that extra thing with me. So I'm a big fan of them. So yeah, a little toddler rucksack is like a must-have. I'll link my one down below. Toddler must-have number 3 is pull-back cars. These pull-back cars are George's favourite thing ever. They're so good, honestly. These have kept George entertained for absolutely ages. You pull them back ever so slightly and then they literally shoot across the entire room. They're so good. They've got quite a lot of power to them, and they are available in so many different places. You can get them from B&M, I think Home Bargains, definitely Amazon, so I'll try and link some down below. And yeah, these, honestly, these pullback cars that George's got for Christmas actually were literally such a favourite, and he has just been obsessed with them ever since he's got them. They're always such a good thing to pull out, and they're just an easy little toy. So yeah, I would definitely say some pullback cars. Another toddler must-have is a little ride-on bike or something to this effect. George's ride-on bike we got from, I believe, Smith's toy store, but again, I'll link something similar down below. This is such a good like first birthday present, I think. This is actually when George got his one, but I would say he got to about 14 months and that's when he got really into like riding this around. He really loves riding around it in the living room, but now it's getting a little bit warmer, riding around in the garden, on the patio and stuff. It's so sweet. It gives him a little bit of balance. He likes climbing on things as well. So that bike is just an absolute must-have for us. But anything like this would be an absolute winner for a toddler at this age. Another absolute winner in the toy section has been this Melissa and Doug lock and latch board. George absolutely loves this. There's not a lot that will get him to sit down, I would say, other than books. This is the only thing that he will sit down and play with like consistently, and he is just so into it. It's all the little locks that you kind of have to twist before you can get them open. I'm not even struggling to do it like this, to be honest. There's little latches and stuff. We play it together and like he gets me to help him, and he absolutely loves like fiddling around with all of these different bits. Yeah, honestly, I think this is an older version. I actually got this from Whirli, which I will talk about a little bit later in the video, but this is something that we borrowed from Whirli and I am not returning it anytime soon because it's something that George absolutely loves. But you can get these on Amazon as well if you want to splash out and buy your own one. But I absolutely love this, a lock and latch board. Melissa and Doug are also really good for toys, so something like this has just kept George entertained for the longest period of time compared to anything else, and for that reason it had to have a spot on the must-haves list. Number 6 on the toddler must-have list has to be the IKEA kitchen that I'm sat in front of right now. You can probably see like all of the things I'm going to mention in the background, but this IKEA kitchen has been such a good investment. It's actually quite cheap in comparison to the other like kitchenette kind of things that you can get, but George is obsessed with it. He loves it so much. He plays with it all the time. God, he even climbs through it. But it is genuinely the best money that we've ever spent on like toys for George, like hands down. I would highly recommend it. It's a like staple piece and it's gonna last them and last them and last them. The only thing that I would say with it is it takes forever to set up. Maybe have another couple of hands with you as well, because it took me forever to put that together, but I'm so glad that we have it. You can even get like pots and pans, and these are little household things from Aldi, for example. He's even got like fruit and veg in his little IKEA kitchen. Like, it's just such a nice little thing for like role play, and it will grow with him for years and years and years, and I just think the best money that we've ever spent. So yeah, IKEA kitchen on the list. Next up on the list is a Munchkin 360 cup. If you are regular viewers on my channel, you will know that this is something that we just use every single day. Like, this is the only cup we use now. If you're not familiar with the Munchkin 360, essentially it's a no spill cup. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you chucked it on the floor really hard, which toddlers do, it does still spill, but look at this. It's got water in it now, and I tip it upside down. Absolutely nothing comes out. That's magic, because as you guys know, all toddlers do is this. That's all they'll do. How it works in terms of getting the water out is if you're putting pressure on a certain area and then tilting it. So for example, if you're like biting down on it, or if you're like putting pressure on it with your lips or something, then the water will come out. So, and they know that like George is so good at drinking from this. He has his milk in these and he has his water in these as well. Yeah, it's literally the only cup that I will give him, because otherwise it's going to end up on the floor. So Munchkin 360 cups. This one is the larger one. I think this is 9 ounces, but I'll link the like sets of 2 that you can get on Amazon down below. Number 8 is something that we got for George maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and I'm so incredibly glad that we did at his age. So he would have been, what, 16, 17 months, and it is a little mini table and chairs from IKEA, and that is now where he has his dinner. And the reason that we decided to get it for him was because he was really hating the high chair. He was hating being strapped in, he was hating being restricted, and then he just wanted that freedom, I think, to have like a little table and chairs. It's how he eats at nursery as well. So for him and for us, I thought it was just easier for him to have his dinner and breakfast and like every meal at the dinner table, like with us, but like on his little table and chair, so it's nice and safe. And he's absolutely loving it. He's eating so much more. He's not kicking off at dinner times and stuff. Like, it is just absolutely a stark contrast with how he was before in the high chair. Like, I was struggling loads, and he is now literally ate pretty fantastically every single meal time. So yeah, I would definitely highly recommend a table and chairs from IKEA. I don't know if I can link our specific one down below. They have a cheaper one, but it was out of stock in the IKEA that we went to. The more affordable one from IKEA is obviously really affordable in IKEA itself, but you can also get that one on Amazon, which I will link that one down below. But if you have an IKEA near you, then definitely go in store because you can definitely get it cheaper. On the subject of food and eating, we have to talk about snacks, because let's face it, snacks are a toddler's favourite thing, and the things that we have discovered that I've just literally never heard of really, or like never eaten myself since having a kid and since having George, like in terms of like snacks that he really likes, are saurines, rice cakes, and like raisins. I feel like, of course I've heard of those things before, but I've just never really eaten them. They're not like an adult snack, but for me, those snacks are like key. If I want to maintain like some sort of sanity, it is absolutely key to have at least one of those things on hand. Preferably all three. I'll tend to put them all in like George's bag, his little rucksack that he has, or in my changing bag, for example, if I'm going out for a longer period of time with him, I'll have them literally dotted around the house. Like, they are my absolute go-tos. That along with crackers. He's really, really obsessed with crackers as well, and crackers seem to take him a really long time to eat, so he seems to be more occupied and like content when he has those. But yeah, generally like finding those really good snacks that you can move around and aren't too messy, I feel like are key, and those things are like the staples, I think, in terms of snacks in our cupboard. Toddler must have number 10 is our glow dreaming sort of sound machine slash humidifier nightlight thing that we have. I think it is so good, and basically it is a 3-in-1 type thing. So it's got white noise on it and it's got a nightlight on it, so like a red nightlight for, it helps with sleep, and then the green light helps with like concentration, so if they're like waking up, for example. But the really cool thing about it is it's got a humidifier and diffuser like built in. So say for example, and we've all been there, especially when we get to toddlerhood, and especially if they're at childcare, for example, little ones with bunged up noses or like the sniffles are not happy bunnies, it's fair to say. So when George is feeling poorly, I'll pop the humidifier on, which is literally just putting cold water in it and then turning like the section on where it says it's humidifier, and then it will basically just like humidify the air and help him be able to breathe, essentially, like better. It's basically like an advanced version of the CALPOL plugin, essentially. You can put like different oils, essential oils and stuff in, obviously to make sure that they're like safe for baby, but the Glow Dreaming bundle that we got actually has like different ones in there already, like different essential oils for babies, whether that's to help with sleep or if they're ill or all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not saying that you should do this, I'm not recommending this, but I'm gonna be honest, and what we did was put Albus oil into the humidifier, like baby Albus oil into the humidifier, and then it like just basically made the whole room smell like Vicks. And then he was able to like breathe and sleep, and he was like comfortable, and I was comfortable doing that for George. I'm not saying you should do it, don't like come at me if that's sort of the wrong thing to do, but I wanted to do that. It got him to have a nice sleep, and he could actually breathe through his nose, and everything was happy. So yeah, that's what we did, but it's completely up to you what you do, obviously. Now, the humidifier that we got, I'm not gonna lie, I bought it in desperation because I was really struggling through a sleep regression, plus George was very ill, plus I was here on my own and I was like doing the whole nights on my own and stuff. So I'm not gonna lie, I bought it in desperation. So probably if I had my time again, because it was quite expensive, if I had my time again, I would probably just get a more affordable version, and I'll link a couple of them down below. I do, however, not regret getting it in that moment in time, because it is a very good piece, and it helped everyone get a good night's sleep, and at the end of the day, that is what we need in our lives. Must have number 11 is a sleep sack with feet. You guys know that George is always toddling around in his like sleeping bags. He's got arms and they've also got feet, so because he's walking, because he's toddling around and stuff, it's nice and cozy in the mornings when he comes down, you know, on a weekend and stuff. He has his milk, he has his breakfast, and he's got in his sleeping bag, and we have a little cuddle in front of the telly, and then eventually I'll sort of do his nappy and all that stuff afterwards. But yeah, a little sleep sack with feet is essential for us. like I said, since he's been walking, and George has been walking since around the time he was 1. So for this period of time, it's been perfect. The ones that we have are from HUMIDIFIER, but there are plenty of more ones on Amazon and stuff like that as well, which I will link down below. But yeah, I absolutely love those little sleep sacks with feet instead of blankets or duvets or anything like that. I just think those sleeping bags are just so good, because they're never going to come off them, they're never going to get kicked off. He's always going to be nice and cozy in the night, so it's just perfect. Toddler must-have number 12 is definitely a blackout portable blind, and I'm pretty sure this has been on my must-haves ever since he was like 3 months old, but it has not changed. It is an absolute staple of ours, and we have, like, I think it's the Tommy Tippy, but I'll link exactly the one that we have down below. But essentially it's a blackout blind with suction cups on it, and you can put it on any single window you want. Like, we literally haven't even got a blackout blind, a proper one, in George's bedroom. Upstairs we've just got the portable one, because if we were to go anywhere, if we were to go and visit someone or stay somewhere overnight or stay in a hotel or whatever, we would just unpop that from our window, fold it up, put it in the bag, and then put it up on the window that we are then going to stay in. And the room is nice and dark. George doesn't know if the sun's coming up earlier, like, everything is good. Everyone is happy, and that's exactly what we need. So yeah, a portable blackout blind is just key. And if you are still struggling with sleep with little one, don't get me wrong, we all have our days, but I promise you, by getting a blackout blind, it will just help. It will help. It can't not. Another toddler must have, and I'm sure you'll appreciate, are safety locks. Safety locks on all of the cupboards, please. But in particular, we got these really good ones from Amazon, and they are so affordable, and they are really good. They're really sturdy, and they've stood the test of time. We've had these since George was probably like, what, 10 months-ish, since he started really like coasting around and maybe going into things. They have worked. They have really stood the test of time. I think only one has broken, and that was me, because I yanked it really hard. But they are really good. They're really affordable, and I would definitely recommend them. They are on Amazon, and I will link them down below. Another toddler must-have is definitely pull-up nappies. And I don't really think I have to say much else. Since George has been walking, realistically, pull-up nappies have been our go-to. Sometimes they get taped and I regret it, because pull-up nappies for us is just so much easier. I literally, sometimes he's not even laying down and I change his nappy. I'll just take his nappy off, give him a quick wipe, and then he'll just step into his nappy, and it's just so much easier than trying to get him to lay down flat still for that long. It just doesn't ever happen. So yeah, pull-up nappies, I think, just since, probably even from like crawling, but like pull-up nappies have just been an absolute game changer from the age of 12 months to 18 months, and I'm pretty sure beyond. Whilst we're on nappy changing, another toddler must-have for me are good wipes. Good wipes, because I don't know what it is about this age, but the poo, guys, their poo, it changes. It goes from one kind of like cute baby poo to like proper poo. Like, it's not cute. So I would say some really good wipes. I have a couple in particular that I do not like. I really don't like Huggies. I really don't like their wipes, and I really don't like the Tesco own brand biodegradable wipes. I really don't like those. I feel like they're really like cardboardy, and they don't like have as much moisture in them as they could. So for me, I definitely think Pampers are really good, and I also think it's Rascal and Friends are really good for like doing the job that they need to do, but finding like that perfect brand of wipes and then just sticking to it. I just think that's an absolute toddler must-have. When those poos change, they change. Again, sticking with like the changing theme, I would definitely say METANIUM nappy rash ointment is a game changer in terms of a nappy rash. Like, I really like Sudocrem, but METANIUM nappy rash ointment is just next level. Don't get me wrong, it smells, and don't get me wrong, it looks really weird because it's like a bright yellowy colour, but it really sorts out nappy rash. It is like the best, the creme de la creme of nappy rash cream, so I definitely highly recommend that. Going back to sleep quickly, actually, I really do think that the CALPOL plug-in and the refills deserve a spot on the toddler must-haves list. I know I mentioned it earlier with the humidifier and stuff, but when it comes to sleep and them having a cold or being sick, the CALPOL plug-in is essential. It is the best thing out there. If you are traveling, it is literally your only option, and we have had to stay in loads of different places with George whilst he's been a little bit under the weather, like had the sniffles and hasn't been able to sleep in the room that we're sleeping in. So the CALPOL plug-in was an absolute must. It's really, really good for those times when you just need it. And I think it's one of those things that if you need it and you don't have it, you will absolutely kick yourself. So yeah, just have a stock up of those in the cupboard, wherever you keep like the thermometers and stuff, wherever you keep the baby stuff, have the CALPOL plugins, because trust me, they will come in handy. I'll link the Amazon links down below and you can order it literally right now, because trust me, if you haven't got them in your cupboard, you're gonna need them. Next on the toddler must-haves list is a Whirli subscription. So I think you guys probably saw this one coming because I mentioned Whirli earlier in the video, but essentially Whirli is a toy subscription service that you can essentially borrow toys from, use the toys, play with the toys, and then send the toys back and get brand new toys, all for a little monthly subscription. Honestly, it is so, so good. We've used it again since George was like 6 months old. It's been our favourite thing to do, and it feels like Christmas every time you get new toys coming. It's super, super eco-friendly. It cuts down on clutter left, right and centre. It's just the best. Like, it's the best thing ever, it really is. And instead of getting toys and then your kids growing out of them or not even enjoying them in the first place and having wasted all that money and like that contributing to landfill, actually what you can do is just send them back to Whirli. They clean them and sanitize them and everything, and then another family can use those toys and you can get brand new toys for your little one. I should also say I still have a discount code. If you use the code SHAN30 on the Whirli site when you're signing up for subscriptions and stuff, you get a 30% discount. So at an already good price, you already get a good deal, but then with the added 30%, it's just like an absolute no-brainer. Saves on clutter, helps the environment. You don't waste so much money on like brand new toys. You just borrow toys and then swap them for new ones and then repeat. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Like I said, we currently have the Melissa and Doug lock and latch board. We also have a Melissa and Doug puzzle. We also have a few other bits as well that we have recently like swapped with Whirli. You can literally swap your toys as many times as you want, but I think I'm gonna swap a couple of our toys. I'm gonna keep the lock and latch board because I absolutely love it. It's also a really good time to like declutter and like reset, because it's Easter time, which is really a good time to like get rid of all the old toys that they just don't play with anymore, and then get some new ones with Whirli, but this time you're borrowing them and then you're going to recycle them at some point, and you know that when they grow out of these toys and they're not playing with these toys, you can just send them back and then get new ones with Whirli as well. So I just think it's an absolute brainer. I feel like for me, spring cleaning, decluttering, like fresh starts and stuff, it just feels like the right time. So yeah, it's definitely what I'm going to be doing. I've said it time and time again, it is just such a good premise, and I'm so happy to support them. So thank you so much to Whirli for sponsoring this last part of the video. I'm always grateful for that. Next up on the baby must-haves list is a big ticket item, something that I have absolutely ranted and raved about for the last, I don't know how long, since, well, forever basically, since George existed on this world, and it is the BABYZEN Yo-Yo 2 buggy. It is the best buggy for like traveling and for city and for like pavement walking, hands down. It's compact, it fits in the back of my Mini, it literally fits in the hallway, like absolutely you can't even barely see it. I can hold it over my shoulder as if it's like just a handbag. Genuinely the best buggy ever for compact like city living, I would say, and not even city living, like town living, to be honest. I wouldn't use it if you're going on long dog walks in the country or like over cross country like terrain, but I don't do that with this buggy like at all, and therefore think it's a really good option. It's the only buggy in existence, well at least when I bought it, I don't know if this is still the case, that fits in the overhead compartment of a plane. Honestly, I just think it's so good. It's so flexible, it's so lightweight. You literally flip it out and it's open and there's no faffing about or anything. Research it. It's so good. I think I actually did a review video when I got the pram, when George was newborn. So yeah, if you want to see like the newborn version of it, you have like a bassinet on it. But I just love the BABYZEN Yo-Yo 2. In the toddler realm, it's the perfect buggy. It really is. Next up on the toddler must-haves list is another big ticket item, although it's much more affordable than all of its like competitors, is the GRACO Turn to Me rotating car seat. I've had this since George was like 8 months old, 7, 8 months old, something like that, and absolutely love it. But as George has got older, I've appreciated it even more and more and more. It's gonna last him until he's like 4. So, but this age is where I've appreciated it the most, because George at his age is hating going in the car seat. And if I had like a traditional car seat that doesn't rotate round to like where you're putting him in, it would be very difficult right now, because he is like trying to flip himself out. He's trying to like, and like I've got a small car, I've got a Mini Cooper, so by putting him like in that, it's just very, very difficult. Whereas with the GRACO turn to me rotating car seat, you literally are facing him as you're putting him in. Pop him in, quickly strap him in, plug him in, and you can turn him either front facing or backwards facing. It's completely up to you. Obviously, you're able to have them front facing if you want to from the age of like 15 months or so, but you can still have them backwards facing because it is safer, but it's completely up to you guys, whatever you do. But with this, you can do both. Do whatever you want, and like I said, you can extend it and stuff, so it lasts all the way up to 4 years, and you can use it from newborn because it has a newborn insert. So it's just the best. It's the best, and I'm so glad we have it. And if we didn't have it, I would probably just not use my car ever. And with that, I think concludes my top 20 toddler must-have products for the period of time, I guess, for 12 months to 18 months, which is the last 6 months for us. So I would really, really love to know what your favourite item that I've mentioned is, or what your favourite must-have item is for this period of time. And do any links or anything down below, like so everyone can like shop the links and all of that stuff. Everything that I mentioned will be down below. But for now, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!
'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.